Well, thank you so much again, Julie, for making time for this. This will probably be relatively short. The survey is anonymous, so I think you filled it out, but I don't know like who said what. So I may ask you some of the same questions again. But we've been working together since about April, which is this month makes 6 months. So yay. And it's been really a pleasure to talk with you, to learn more about you. You came into this from my impression being a seasoned leader. So I'd be interested to hear what gains you've made as a result of this, if any. We went into this right in smack in the middle of COVID. We're still in COVID. But in the time that we've been together, I know for every community, the big thing was retention and turnover. And I'm sure that that's still an issue. But we assessed your leaders, where their strengths, where they probably have challenges. We did a self-assessment where I asked you, how do you rate yourself in many areas? We've talked about time management, accountability. We've talked about one-on-ones and communication. And in some of those areas, I felt that you out of the bat came out very strong. So with that in mind, I just don't see anything else we need to talk about. I don't know if this helped you, but it helped me, it helped solidify that you're strong in a lot of areas as a leader. So with that said, what are you doing differently? Is there anything that you've done that you've started to do differently with your leadership team, with your staff, with your residents, since we started this journey?
I think that just being more aware of how important this stuff really is to talk about, and the self-awareness of, leading a team and how everybody's different. And not that I wasn't aware of that before, but I think maybe just slowing down and realizing how much it really does impact your day-to-day workflow. And, I think that's really important. Talking about the stuff that we talked about makes it more present, if that makes sense, rather than just going through the motions. So I think that just making me a little bit more aware of the things that need to be a little fine-tuned.
Okay, awesome. Anything in particular that you're proud of that you've achieved?
I think it really is sharing the leadership, if that makes sense. I've been able to kind of I have a very hard time sometimes delegating, and I've been able to take a step back, and I think that goes along with accountability too, to empower them more than I was before, to take on some of the things that I might have been owning myself a little bit too much. I have noticed that I've been able to do that. It makes me nervous that I step back, very uneasy, because I worry about what's not getting done or what's not getting done the right way. But I know that I need to be able to empower them in order to allow them to grow and for our team to succeed. So I feel like I'm doing better as far as that goes.
All right. That's excellent. And keep that up, because that's the only way that you'll really be able to achieve some level of work-life balance, is to continue to empower, continue to delegate,
right?
Continue to be a little scared.
It's nerve-wracking.
But you have to keep the end in mind is that will definitely help you to some extent with work-life balance.
Right.
Anything in particular that you've learned about your leadership team in the time that we've been working together?
I think that the one exercise that we went through where we listed the strongest leaders that I have, and then talked about their strengths and their weaknesses, talking about it and actually writing it out or thinking about it made me kind of look at it in a different perspective. Like, wow, I really did notice that about this person, and I didn't realize how impactful it was on our team until I actually put it out there and acknowledged it. So I think that exercise was really important. And just gave me places to help them be stronger, or places where I can point out, hey, you're really good at this, and share that with everybody. So
awesome. Well, that's good, because that makes them feel valued, and that's important. What have you specifically learned about yourself? You said this has helped you become more self-aware. And I know we talked a little bit about that you're delegating more, empowering more. So that might be the answer, but I'll still ask
how important it is to try to make time for my personal life. Makes a big difference when you even have, I didn't realize, like, even 2 days off in a row is like wow to me now. And it's such a normal thing for a lot of people. And it's a combination of a lot of things going on, but in reflecting back, I blame it on the pandemic or I blame it on staffing, but I think it's part of my personality. I've always kind of been that way. It's just kind of heightened it because the need is there more. And not that I've been able to really do it to the level that I want to be able to do it, but I think I've acknowledged the fact that it does make a huge difference when I am able to, and makes me more productive and effective when I am at work.
Love it. That makes so much sense. I agree with you 100% on that. How has the program helped you?
Like I said, just being more self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
It made me recognize, I think, or validate the fact that, I know this is going to sound really stuck up, that I am able to manage various types of personalities independently. And I think it actually has done more for me personally to make me more of an effective leader by acknowledging some of those things that I was doing or not doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good. Very good. What are some changes would you recommend? Some people have said things like, we need to have homework. I'm like, what? So that might be one
Nobody
thing.
got time for that.
That's what I was thinking, but I obviously I'm wrong. So obviously I've been assuming that people have no time. They barely have time for these calls. So what changes do you think would you recommend for the program as we move into, we'll have another 10 people, I believe, in a month or two. What changes do you think would continue to elevate the program?
I mean, I think you do a great job. I certainly do and have enjoyed our conversations. I think there was one part where you and I went through, it was like a question and answer, and you were asking me about myself and how I rate myself. And I think maybe if you started with that and then ended with it, just to see, if people have changed or been able to, grow from it, I think that would be a good idea. I know you were telling me that I was grading myself too low, and and maybe now I wouldn't. I don't know, but it would be nice to see that, to start there and then end with something like that.
Excellent. That's excellent. Thank you for that. I've kind of started doing that with the new people, because I'm like, but I have thought that I'll do that at the beginning so we can focus specifically on where they feel their weak spots are. But I never thought about, okay, at the end, I need to ask them again. So perfect. Thank you for that. Anything else?
No. I mean, I went into this not knowing why I went into it. My experience and stuff, I'm pretty confident, but even with that being said, I feel like it was beneficial for me. So
thank you for that. Thank you. Now, one thing that has come up, and I think you kind of said at the beginning, is it would be good if people knew why.
Yes.
Why am I in this thing? Am I bad or am I good?
Did I do something? Are they helping? Are they, just throwing me here's a leadership program? Yeah, that definitely would have been very, and you know what? I think that going into it, to be honest with you, Theo, because our human nature is to think, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And how did I end up here? I think knowing ahead of time before going into it would make people a little bit more acceptable for you during your first few sessions.
Exactly. Because people are kind of hesitant in the beginning because they're like, what does she know about me that she's not saying? And so that would be good. Thank you. All right. So you came in super strong. All right. You gave me a couple of things that, create an awareness for you. You've delegated more. You have empowered more. Those are and that you realize the importance of work-life balance and when you can get those 2 days off. So those are a couple of really stellar, big wins.
Yeah.
What are you going to start doing, stop doing, or continue doing so you continue to delegate and empower, continue to be aware that, you need to make time for yourself, and so that you continue, to just be a dynamic leader? What are you going to start doing to consider that you don't lose momentum? Because you know what? Honestly, sometimes people are like, yeah, I know Joe Schmo was in the program last year, but I don't see any change. And sometimes it's that we kind of regress. So what are some things that you're going to make as a commitment to yourself so that you don't regress in those big wins that you've made?
I think just committing to my one-on-ones with my team and making sure I stick to that, and rescheduling any canceled, because they are very important for feedback.
Yeah.
I'm so stealing your line. I understand, but what's the plan? And we'll continue to use that.
Yeah.
Because I love that.
Okay, great.
And I don't know, just, make sure that I don't get lost in the routine of the day-to-day
Yeah,
things, and make sure that I'm continuing to acknowledge my team and myself.
good, good, excellent. All right. Well, any other questions for me? Because that's all that I have for you.
No, I really don't. I guess just to say thank you.
My pleasure. And again, it's been a joy getting to meet you. It seems like the 6 months we've had interesting talks. So the 6 months went by really fast for
Very
me, at
fast.
least. I know
Yep.
sometimes people are like, "What? It's over." But I think when we close out, we realize that you've made tremendous gains. So I want to let you know and let anybody viewing this know that you came in tremendously strong. Thank you for sharing the things that stood out for you in the program, and continue to do all those great things that you just talked about. All right, that you're going to do. So thank you so much, Julie. And also, I'm always available if you need to talk.
All right.
I don't think you'll need me, but I'm still around. So if you
Aw.
do, I'm always available if you need somebody to vent. Because sometimes you have the answer, right? You just need somebody to vent, get it off your chest, and then you realize it wasn't that big of a deal, move on, or you realize,
Right.
okay, now that I've talked through it, I can go back and hold the person accountable. So I'm always here to assist in that manner.
All
All
right. Thank
right.
you so much, Theo.
My pleasure. You have a tremendous day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.